Hi everybody, welcome to LDRS Creative. I'm Angie Hunt. We're in studio tonight and we're going to be having some crafty fun. I'm gonna play once again with our Gone to Maui kit because I love that one. For those of you that don't already know, I finally convinced Alan to go to Hawaii. We're going to be celebrating our son's graduation, and so this Gone to Maui kit is like right up my alley. Plus, it's finally summer here every day in Michigan. In fact, it was, how hot was it yesterday? It was like 97, 98 degrees, something like that. It was insane. I actually was out. I think I went outside at like 10 o'clock in the morning and I didn't go out after that because it was so hot. Even at 10 o'clock, it was unbearable. So as much as I love summer, I like it to be like in the mid 80s. But anyway, welcome to everybody who is here tonight so far. Yay! I always wonder, when we kind of hit those summer months, if things are really going to slow down, because I know it's beautiful and everybody wants to get outside and stuff. So thank you guys. So many people coming in. Thank you so much for spending your nice summer evening with us. So a big hello. I know Will is there. Alan let me know that. So hi, Will. Beth Brooks is here, and Margie, and Rhonda, and Janet, and I saw Sandy Yee is here. Yay! Hi. Who else is here? Peggy and Cindy Patty. Yay! Janet Austin and Shelly, Kim McDaniel, Lucy. So many people. Oh my goodness. Patty Redmond, Dana. Janet, I'm not sure if I said your name already. So many people coming in. We've got Lisa Fitzpatrick is here tonight, and Susan Mead. Oh my goodness, I love seeing everybody's names come in here. Angel is here tonight. Hi, Angel. Esmeralda Gardner. Haven't seen you in a while, so welcome here. Or maybe you've been here since your name. I apologize if you have. I don't get to see everybody's names all the time because I start crafting, and some people come in, right after I give the big welcome. But it is so nice to see everybody here. Thank you so much for spending your evening. So tonight, like I said, we're going to be playing with the Gone to Maui kit. And I'm going to be mixing that a little bit with the spring collection because, as you guys know, I love mixing collections. I love mixing kits with collections, and I love mixing some of the stuff that we've already got in our craft stash with some of the current things and vice versa. So that's always a lot of fun for me. Who else is coming in? Regan is here, and Evelyn, Lisa B. Hi. So nice to see you guys coming in. So I do have a technique that I wanted to play with today, and it has to do with, actually, Alan and I were talking. He kind of got my creative juices going the other day. It was yesterday or the day before, and we were talking about cover plate dies and different ways that we could use cover plate dies. So I thought, I'm going to play with the cover plate die. In one of the videos I did a couple of weeks ago, I embossed with a cover plate die. And now I'm going to actually be doing some stenciling with it because I want you guys to know that you can do so much with the cover plate dies, not just cutting with them, but you can do a lot more with them. And so we're going to be doing that and creating a really kind of pretty and simple and easy yet kind of magical and fun background for some of our Gone to Maui characters. So who else is coming in? Nicole is here. Cassie Ann, hi. Deanna is here. Yay! Hi, everybody. Alrighty, so we're gonna get rolling. We're gonna switch to camera 2, and I'm gonna show off the Gone to Maui kit. We're gonna get started with that for those of you that don't know what it is. You ready? Alrighty. So for those of you that haven't seen the Gone to Maui kit, if you know about our exclusive craft kits, and actually, Alan, can you remind me at the end before we go to kind of make an announcement?
Oh, finally.
Kinda.
I wanted to say something.
No, I'm not gonna say it completely, but we're gonna let people know that something's going on. Okay, so our exclusive craft kits, as you know, we do these every couple of months, and it includes products that you can only get in the kit at a special price while the kit is still available. Now, if the products sell out, then they're gone and they're done. If we still have a few of them left over, once we introduce the next kit, we will put some of the whatever inventory we have left over into the store, but it'll be at regular price and they'll be sold separately. The only time you can get the special pricing is when you purchase them together in the kit, and believe me, it is a very, very good discount. So In the Gone to Maui kit, you're going to get, well, these are only 2 of the items that you're going to get. If you look online at the website, you'll see that there's also toner papers and some sentiments that go along with this as well. But for today's purposes, I'm going to be working with this is a 4x8 stamp set, if you're wondering why this looks so long. It's a big stamp set, 14 stamps in total. You can see that I have already well-loved some of my stamps in here. Let's flip this over so you can see who's in here. And let me come in a little bit closer to camera 3. You can't see this guy, but he's super, super cute. Actually, you know what? And let me give me that card right over there underneath the potted hibiscus right there. That way people can see, because I think I used him on that card. Yeah. Okay. So here's the card that I did in a previous video. But here you can see on the back of our stamps, we've always got our all the stamps in full color to give you an idea for how you can color them up. It also helps you to see the details in the stamps a lot better. This little guy right here is actually this really sweet little tiger who is on his little lounge chair there, where I'm going to be actually just in like 2 weeks. I'm going to be on a lounge chair and I'm going to be by the water, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's been too long since I have seen water. So, well, I've seen water, like, you know, in the bathroom, in the shower, but not in a large body of water like a, well, not large, but medium, like a pool. I'm sorry, I'm a city girl. I don't get in the ocean. I like to look at the ocean. I like to be in a controlled environment like a pool. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this is the card that I made a few weeks ago with the kit. But I really wanted to show you this little guy since you can't see him as well because the little suffocation warning sticker is on the back there. But then we also have the dies. There's 12 dies now. On the back, it shows you here which die goes with which stamp. So we have it all mapped out, how you're going to line those up. And there's a die for every single, stamp in there, with the exception of the sentiments. Okay? So I decided, let me show you this too, before we get too far. Let me get it. This is, I won't get it out of my little goodie bag. This is one of the sentiment sheets that comes in the kit, and you'll notice that they have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? The way that they're laid out is familiar, so it has a familiar setup, all right? You're going to get 2 of these in the kit, and I'm actually using these on the card today. But if you're looking at this and you're going, why does that setup look familiar there? Well, first of all, this is a toner sheet to begin with. So this is a toner sheet, which means that it's printed in black toner. That means that you can foil it. If you look here in this card, the paper that's in the background there, see how it catches the light and it shines? That's one of the toner sheets that is included in the kit. And you want to use toner reactive foil, and you're going to be able to get this gorgeous, gorgeous look. All right. So these sentiments are also in toner. So you're going to use toner reactive foil on those as well. You'll use them with like a laminating machine or a hot foil machine, like a Mink or something. And you're going to have absolutely gorgeous results with them. But then if you're looking at it, you're going, why does that layout look familiar? It's because we laid them out so that they're going to work with your stack dies. So many of you may already have these, either the Sentiment Stack 1, which has the ribbon cut edge, or the Sentiment Stack 2, which has that blunt straight edge. You can use either one of these, or both, however you want to do it, with your sentiment sheets that are included in your kit. If you don't have these, and maybe you don't want them, then you can just use your paper trimmer to cut these into strips. So there's no, right or wrong way to do it, just different options. So I wanted to show you this because the sentiments that I have, I've already foiled and I've already cut them with the Sentiment Stack 2. We'll go over that in a moment as well when we get to it. But these are the sentiments that I'm using on the card, and they're also in the Gone to Maui kit. Now, the item that I decided to work with that is not in the Gone to Maui kit, but it's actually, well, I have this all ready to go, and I'll show you why it looks like this, but it's the Hexagons cover plate. So this is my Hexagons cover plate die set. There's actually 2 dies in this. This is part of the spring collection. You've seen me work with this already. You've seen me work with the Diamonds A2 cover plate as well. But this one, I really wanted to use the hexagons with this card because it gives me more space in that center, not quite square, but a hexagon, so it's taller and fatter. And it's going to allow me to get more characters into that space. And so I wanted to have fun with that. So let me show you, that's going to be the main technique that I want to show you today. So we're going to play around with this a little bit. And if you notice, I've got this already on some press and seal. This is my press and seal right here. All right. You guys have seen this. You probably have some. I mean, I literally went and pulled this out of the drawer. So I cut a little bit of it. Now, you're probably used to seeing crafters use this a little bit differently than I am. You know, people will go and they'll go ahead and they'll cut with the die, and then they'll lay the press and seal over what they've already cut. You know, the paper on this side, let's say they'll lay it over that to pull up, you know, save the pattern that they have with the layout. I wanted to do this a different way, so I kind of, I would not necessarily reverse engineered, but I did it a little bit backwards because I have two dies here. If you recall, this center die is separate, and it doesn't fit right up against the edges of the cover plate die. See how there's space there? So when I want to mass produce this, you've seen me cut multiples of this. And actually, will you give me that card over there, Alan? Right there, the one with the tulips.
This guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You've seen me cut multiples of it here where I will lay them, you know, line them up on top of each other. I think I have 3 or 4 here, and I stack them and I glue them together so that we have wonderful dimension, right? Well, when you have two dies like that, unless you have a way of holding those dies in place, you're not going to get the cut exact every single time because the center die may move. So I decided to put it on some press and seal, and that makes sure that my die is going to stay in place every single time that I cut with it. So I want to show you how this works, and then I'm going to show you what I do with it. So I am going to be doing some color blending. So the paper that I'm using is my Bristol Strathmore. Alan, you want to come to camera too? The paper that I'm using, whenever I do color blending, I like to work with my Strathmore Bristol smooth surface. It's just my favorite. It absolutely blends like butter on here, and it's so smooth, and it's just so beautiful. I don't think we have this. Do we still have this in the store?
I know we have some. I don't know if there's.
Can you look and see if there's still some in the store in case anybody wants it? And the reason we put it in the store for you guys is because we give you an extra discount on it, you know, above and beyond, you know, what you'll see elsewhere. So anyway, this is what I like to use. This is what I am using tonight. So I've already got this cut into an A2 piece here, and I'm going to lay this down over the top of my die. Now I have this so that it is blade side up, okay? So the press and seal is on the flat side, blade side up, and I'm going to lay this on here. That press and seal is also going to hold my paper in place. I'm just going to press it down a little bit so it catches, and it's just going to stick to that. So let's go ahead. Let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. So here's my machine. All right, let me move that up a little bit. Okay. So I am going to cut this with the, let me get that little blue piece off of there. I'm going to cut this with the blade side down. I like to cut whenever I can with the blade side down. All I'm doing right now is pressing the press and seal to the spots on the paper that are, you know, that are visible there. But I like to cut with the blade side down unless I'm using a really intricate die, because that's going to save my plates from warping a lot. All right, so here we go. Blade side down. I'm going to put this through. Get it started. Hard to do when I'm sitting down. There we go. Yeah, it's just I can't muscle it when I'm sitting down. There we go. Wow. Sounded like knuckle cracking. Alrighty. So here we go. Now, when I lift this up, you're going to see that, you know, the little pieces of paper are stuck to it, right? This is where, like, had you done this without the press and seal, you could actually put press and seal over it, you know, and pick that back up if you wanted. It's, you know, just to kind of have them laid out nicely, or do it like it is now. You could put the press and seal on that side, put your little stickers on the back here, and not stickers, but your foam or your adhesive, lay it down then and pull that off, and everything's going to stay in place. So, you know, however it is you want to work it. But my purposes are really to keep those two dies aligned. All right. So if I were to pop these out of here and then lay another piece of paper in here, I could actually cut multiples and mass produce, and every single one of these would be lined up the exact same. So, but for my purposes today, I'm going to, do I need to do that? Let me think. No, I don't need to do that today. I had to think about what I'm doing with the card. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off of here. Sorry, it's been a few hours since I designed the card, so I had to see what I had to remember what I was doing. I've done a lot since then. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put my die away. As you guys know, I'm like weird about putting this stuff away. Uh-oh, that tape is catching. Ah! You know, one of these days, we're going to have some organizational things. It's going to make it a lot easier to store stuff. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Huh? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put these away. That way I don't risk losing any dies. All right. So I don't need these pieces for this project, so I'm going to set those aside. These are the pieces that I need right here. All right, Alan, will you come into camera? Actually, I'll just do it on here. Okay, thank you. This is just a scrap piece that I do my color blending on, and this is my little bag of tricks here. So this is another piece of my Strathmore paper. I'm just going to lay this down. This is the piece that I die cut right here. Isn't that beautiful? And then here is that center piece that I cut separate. Okay, I cut it together, but it separates. So here I am going to, actually, you know what? We're going to come back to camera 1 because I'm going to get a wider shot so they can see what I'm doing. 2, I'm sorry, camera 2. You're right. All right, so here's my piece of Strathmore that I'm going to do my color blending on. And this is my die cut. That doesn't fit perfectly. I need to trim. I didn't cut this piece is not cut very well to an A2, so I'm actually going to trim a little bit off of it because I didn't cut it very well. So I just want to trim a tiny bit, just like so, off of both sides. The die cut is going to be perfect because that is perfectly sized to an A2. So with my paper trimmer, I didn't cut this very well. So let's see how I did now. Much better. Okay, so I'm going to lay this piece down just on my paper, and I'm going to lay this one over it. And I've got my mint tape that you get at scrapbook.com because I love this stuff. And I'm just going to lay this down. I'm using, if you haven't noticed, my die cut as a stencil. So this is what I think is so fun. So when Alan and I were talking the other night about crafting, because yes, we do. We talk about product ideas, and he gets a lot of interesting ideas. And he was talking about, oh, could you do this with a die? Could you do that? And I said, you know what I haven't done with a die yet is used it as a stencil. And so I thought, I'm going to do that tonight. So here is my little centerpiece. And I want to put this in here because I want this to get color. So I'm going to lay this in here, but I'm going to use this is my removable one. So this is my not permanent adhesive. Did that get on there? I don't think it did. Let's try it over here. What is happening? It's not getting on here. I just love these things. Such a pain in the rump sometimes. All right, there we go. So let me lay that in the center there because I want that to be still. I don't want it to be flopping around and moving. All right, let's look at the colors that I'm going to use. I wanted summer kind of beachy colors because this is Gone to Maui, right? So somebody, Angel, is saying, am I the only one that's crazy for my yellow frog tape over everything else? You know, I don't know what yellow frog tape is, so that's interesting. You know, I know everybody has their favorites of stuff, right? Okay, so here's the first three colors. So I'm working with Olive Branch, all right? And then I have Key Lime Pie. And then, let me flip this one around. Banana Cream Pie. And then, flip this one around. Tangerine Dream. Doesn't that just sound like a good drink? It sure does to me. And then Tickled Pink. So this is going to be my color scheme, and this is going to be the little rainbow of summer beachy colors that I'm going to be using from start to finish. All right? So I'm going to line these up over here, out of my way, and I'm going to get started from the bottom to top. So the reason I'm starting with green at the bottom is I want it to kind of look like grass, all right? Because these little characters are going to be standing in something, right? And of course, here's my messy, messy towel. And I've got my different little brushes here. So I'm going to start with Olive Branch. Let me get my brush ready to go. Make sure I don't have any excess color on here. All right. So I'm going to get me some green here. Brush off a little bit of that. And I'm brushing onto the paper that's underneath as well as my little stencil or template that I've got here. So I'm just going to start in light circles and just start brushing this around. I like to do this soft at first and I build the color up. That way I don't have to worry so much about getting like brush strokes in there and having to cover up brush strokes. All right, let me get a little more of the green. Just darken that a bit. Now I'm brushing off on a towel. You don't have to do that. You could brush off on a little scrap piece of paper, which I actually do quite often as well. There we go. Clean that off because I'm actually going to use the same brush, but I'm going to go to a lighter green. So I want to get any excess off of here. So now I'm going to Key Lime Pie. You know what? I need a little piece of paper here. I don't want to get my thumb in that ink, but I want to kind of hold things in place. So this one is slightly brighter. Hold that down. There we go. So I'm getting a little bit straight. I'm just kind of taking it straight across. All right. Brush that off. Clean my brush. I like to clean the brush every time, like when I'm done with it, because I like to remove all the excess so I don't have an issue later on if I go to use it and it's got a darker color or something in there. So here, now this one is banana cream pie. All right. Before I do this, I'm going to move my tape. I'm going to move it up here on that side. But I'm going to put it in the corner on this one. I just need a place to put my hand. All right, so now I have banana cream pie, which is a light yellow. Oopsie. That little piece moved. Hold on. That's temporary adhesive for you, right? Just put it back into place. I may need to hold that. Hold it up at the top. Now this is going to be really light at first. I'm not applying a whole lot. I don't even know if you guys can see the yellow yet. It's good. The lights are really bright in the studio, so sometimes it's harder to see the colors on your side when they're really soft. But I'm going to just kind of go over this a little bit. Banana cream pie is a really soft yellow, which I love because then it allows me to do it like really pastel, or because you can build color with your hybrid inks. Well, it allows me to do that. It allows me to build it up and get it brighter. I'm going to work down into that green just a little bit and brighten that up a smidge. Let me come up here. Let me move this now into the corner. And I'm going to come up a little bit further with my yellow, kind of gently. Put this piece, I don't want thumbprints. And if you remember, hybrid inks are a combination ink. It's a combination between a dye ink and a pigment ink. And I don't want a thumbprint in there. I just put my thumb in there. That was not the smartest thing I've done tonight. I should have used a stronger tape on the back of that piece, but I didn't. But it'll be all right. Okay, so there is the yellow, or banana cream pie. I'm going to use, again, the same brush now for Tangerine Dream. You know what, I know I'm just going to not be happy with this until I put something stronger on the back of it, because see how it's just popping up off of there? Let me put something a little bit stronger on the back. All right. It's not too strong, but it's stronger. It should hold better. Okay, so now I'm going into orange. It's a gorgeous orange. Makes me think of like a creamsicle. Let me put this down so I have a place to put my thumb. Blend it down just a tiny little bit into that yellow. So you mix those colors together, get kind of a nice graduation of color there. There we go. So pretty already. I love it. A little bit more. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. I'm sorry, I know color blending is not necessarily the most fun thing to watch, but wait until you see how this looks in the end. Clean off my brush. Get my next brush, and I'm going to go on to the last color, which is Tickled Pink. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take this tape now and put it at the bottom so everything stays where it should. I'm going to move these up just a little bit. All right. Now we have Tickled Pink. And again, I'm doing this very gently. This to me, you know how you get the skies sometimes in summertime? And you get that beautiful kind of pink up in the sky at night. Let me move this up a little bit and make sure this stays, because I do not want to lose my pattern underneath. Do that. I don't want to get the color underneath my stencil. That's basically what I'm saying. Put this over here. Hold everything in place. Come down just a little bit into that orange. All right. Now we're going to have the great reveal. You get these pieces off of here. That just looks so pretty already. Just so gorgeous. Let's wait, or let's watch and see what happens. Look how gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. Now if I move this piece out of the way, well, you see a little bit of tape, but it doesn't matter because I'm actually going to be popping that up on foam. But so don't worry about that little center there. That's just tape. But look at how pretty that is. Ellen, will you come into camera? The camera, whatever camera that is. Yeah, the other camera. Okay. See how pretty? And so now I actually have, again, don't worry about that little bit of tape. That doesn't matter. We're going to be covering it anyway. But look at how pretty this is. So I'm going to set this one aside. This piece here I actually don't even need. This is going to be for a whole other project. So if you do this kind of technique, you can create 2 cards with one technique. How cool is that? I love this. I think it's so pretty. That is just so gorgeous. And I'm going to have to make another card with that. But for today, this is what I'm going to do. This is the piece that I need right here, and that's going to end up being popped up on foam. So we're going to actually do that right now. So here's my foam roll. I'm going to go ahead, pop this up on foam. And then we will have a couple of little steps out of the way here. So I'm going to line this up. Make sure I have it straight. I'm looking at the camera up there. I think I've got it. Move it over a tiny little bit maybe. Does that look straight? I think that's straight. Okay, let me press it down. All right, so now we have that all ready to put our characters on. And this to me is reminiscent of the ground, the beautiful sun, and then you get into that beautiful hot summer sky that you see at night. You know, that red skies at night, sailor's delight kind of thing. That's what that makes me think of. I love it. It's one of my favorite summer skies. So much, it's just gorgeous to see. Okay, so what else do we have in my goodie bag? Let's see. In my goodie bag, I have an A2 card base. This is a, I guess you call it a tent fold, but it's portrait. So I basically took an 8.5 by 11 sheet, cut it at 4 1/4, scored it at 5.5, and this is what we have. This is going to go right on top here. just like that. Look how pretty. Yay. Shall we do it? Absolutely. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. That's one more piece that we will have finished for our card. Make sure you're putting this on in the correct direction. You don't want to put it on upside down. There we go. All right. So that part is done. Okay. What do we have next? We have some little characters. So I'm going to do a little bit of coloring for you guys, if you don't mind. Do you want to see me color? I know some people like to see me color and some people don't. Who wants to see me color? Maybe I'll just do a little bit. If you want to see colors, give me thumbs up. All right. Where is my other markers? Here we go. So I'm going to be coloring with Copics. Alan, you're awfully quiet over there. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Someone asked if you're going to use the stencil. Is there a stencil with this or no?
No, no. I made my own stencil.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Maybe that's what
Yeah, I made a stencil with the die cut. So I used the die cut as a stencil. So
Okay.
that's the stenciling that I
I
did.
just misunderstood.
Yeah.
That's usual.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let's do some quick coloring. Here I've got from my Gone to Maui, I have the little, what is it called? Totem pole? Is that what that is?
Yes.
And then this is our, now the Gone to Maui, just so you know, these are not characters that you necessarily find in Maui. I mean, you might find a lizard there, right? You might find a turtle there. But these are characters who are also on vacation. So that's why you see like a koala bear and you see a little tiger. They're on vacation, all right? So just because you're in Maui doesn't mean you're from Maui. What?
If you were a character on vacation in Hawaii, which one would you
Which
be?
one would I be? Alan wants to know if I was a character on vacation in Maui, which one would I be?
Being, was it Barbara Walters used to ask questions like that?
Barbara Wawa?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm getting more stuff out of my bag here.
If you were a tree, what kind of tree?
If I were a tree, what kind of tree would I be? I don't know.
So which character would you be?
Who would I be? I don't know. I don't know what I would be. I seriously don't know.
I think I would be the totem pole.
You'd be the totem pole. All right, I'm going to start with this little guy. I have some really fun kind of summery colors here. And I've already stamped him because you've seen me stamp a million times. And I thought, let's give him like a bright yellow. This is Y02. I'm working with Copic markers. I'm not going to be doing a lot of shading. You don't have to with these characters. So I'm literally just popping color in here into his little shirt. That's Y02. And then I've got, this is RV25. It's like one of my favorite colors. I'm getting these little, whatever these are, on his shirt. I don't even know what they are, but I'm making him kind of a bright pink. And I'm going to get his little glasses. I basically chose, you'll see, the colors that I chose to work with on these characters are the same colors that I used in my, when I was color blending. So I just chose colors that matched. Now koala bears are gray. So I chose to work with cool grays because cool grays have a blue undertone. So I'm starting with C02, or I'm sorry, C1, and I'm just going to kind of start marking off, like adding a little bit of color, like where there might be, you know, some of the darker areas. I'm literally just tossing a teeny bit of color in here. Not being real precise, but just kind of like the little crevices or corners and the edges of things, because that's where things are usually the darkest, right? Underneath might be shadowed a little bit more than over the top. Right, coming in from the side here underneath him, just kind of gently and easily. Just that little bit, just to kind of map out where I'm going to put color. Oh, Angel says some koalas are brown. Alrighty. Are they? Are they supposed to be brown? Am I wrong in making it gray? I don't know. That's possible too. so I'm just going in now with C3, no PO at the end of that, C3PO, sorry, and I'm just putting like a little bit of a darker shadow. Just a tiny little bit, literally just a tiny, tiny little bit with the tip of my marker. And now I'm going back, oh, wrong one. I'm going back to C1, and right where that darker color ends, I'm just gonna kind of blend those out a tiny little bit with the tip of my marker. It's just gonna help to combine those edges a bit. Now I already stamped this, if anybody's wondering. It is stamped on Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, 110 pound. It is my favorite paper to use Copic markers on. So now I'm going to C00 just to kind of blend into those little white areas that I left, because I want them to be highlights, but I don't want them white. All right, so I'm just kind of blending that in a bit. Not too much, because you want to still see that there's a little bit of a shadow there, and it adds a little bit of dimension and texture to him. How cute is he? Really easy to do this. So much fun. Super, super cute. So I'm going to use the same yellow, Y02, because I want this little Mai Tai here. Yellow, and then I've got a RV23 for that pink at the bottom. And then I'm going to blend it with RV02, and it's going to almost make it a little bit orange. It's going to look like the pink is at the bottom, just kind of floating at the bottom of the glass. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to brighten that up and give it a little bit of RV25 at the bottom there.
You want to zoom in?
Yeah, why don't you zoom in? Aren't we zoomed in?
Yeah,
No, we were zoomed in.
Oh, yeah. As good as we can get.
Are people wanting you to zoom in?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to also dab a little bit of that yellow on that little bit of, I think I blended it out too much. There we go. Okay. I do have, let me see. All right, I do have, let me get my greens. Some pretty greens for this cute little turtle over here. I'm going to start with a yellow green, so it's YG01. And I'm just going to give him kind of a lime green base. I like to start light. I don't like to start dark. I like to start light because it kind of helps me to define like where my highlights are. I mean, it's like it lays down the highlight color, but it then helps me to define where my shadows are going to be once I add the next color. Let me get the other arm over here. It's just my preference. So now I'm going to go up to YG06, and I'm going to start defining some of those shadows. Okay, under that hat just a little bit, and I don't draw straight lines. I don't like straight lines for that because they're harder to blend out. Leave a tiny little bit of that kind of lime green. And then I'm going to go up one more color to YG07, and I'm going to use this one sparingly. This creates the darkest kind of shadow. Literally just touching a tiny little bit of that in, kind of here and there. And then I'm going to go back to 06, blend out that edge a bit. And you're probably thinking, why don't you just go right to the other one? It makes such a difference when you have like that intermediate color. It helps with your blending. Now I'm going to start blending out into the lightest color with my YG01. And when I add the second layer over the YG01, it kind of lessens the yellow look to it and makes it a little more green. There we go. That's all there is to him. I'm going to use the same Y02 that I used on the little shirt here. And I'm going to put that in the center of my little turtle here for his little underside. Got a really fun little orange, Y38. I love this orange, and I'm just going to do a little band for his hat here. Now, I didn't do any blue when I was doing my color blending, but I wanted to pull some blue into here because, you know, they're going to be by the ocean. So I chose to bring it in little bits and pieces into here. So I'm starting with B01, and I'm going to bring some of this into the hat. And I'm literally just going to give this a full coating of the blue. And then B02 is just going to help me create a little bit of depth. There we go. Just a tiny little bit underneath that little band. Just gives a little bit of depth. Blend that edge out just ever so slightly, but maintain some highlights. All right. Next up, I'm going to grab a little bit of C1 and just on the little base of his shell here, I'm just going to give a little bit of shadow. And that's all there is to that. I've got two brown colors that I'm going to use for the top of his shell. The first one is E31, and I'm just going to cover with that. This is going to be the same brown that I'm going to use on the totem pole. And then E23 I chose just for creating a little bit of dimension on that. Blend that out ever so slightly, still maintain some light areas. Okay, but leave it so you have that kind of up and down. It makes it look like it's going up and down, highs and lows. All right. I am going to take my Y02, give him the same drink that the other one has, make that yellow. And then I'm going to give him a little pink umbrella because there's no pink on him, and I want to spread that pink around. So I'll give him a little pink umbrella on his drink. Next up, we have this little totem pole here. And I'm going to start off with RV23 on this little guy. I think these are the cutest things. Now the totem pole is made of wood, so I chose to keep it brown. So RV25, just keep the tip of that lighter. There we go. And then to go around the outside of the mouth and the inside, I like E93, I think is kind of fun. It's a little pinky peachy, but it looks really nice with that pink without being the same color, which I think is good. And I just kind of try and bring different colors in, but the same colors that I have here are going to go into here. So, for instance, the blues, all right, that we used on his hat, I want to bring some more blue into this whole picture. So I have B01. I'm going to bring that into some of the decoration on the totem pole. There, and then at the bottom here as well. And then literally dabbing, this is where you got to be a little careful. Just dabbing a little bit in some areas. I'm not doing a lot of shadowing, but just adding some areas that are a little bit darker, just dotting it in. It actually makes it look more blue because it shows off the lighter areas. So it gives it a little bit of a glow. All right, so next up, I'm going to grab YG01. And I'm going to put some of this kind of lime green in here and then here. Do a couple of coats at the edges. And when I do that, it makes it more green. So it makes it greener on the edges and then brighter in the center. So it looks like the light's coming from the center. for this bright pink. I'm going to dab that into those little dots there. Literally just one little touch in there on the decor. There we go. And then I think, let's see, let's take, what color am I going to do? I'm going to take this little bit of blue here and put this into this little centerpiece here as well. Some of them get really small, so it's kind of hard to see what there is there. But I'm going to put the blue up here too and dot those in there. Okay. So next up, we're going to use, remember those two colors that I had for the brown for his shell? I'm going to use the same ones on the rest of the totem pole. So E31, I'm literally going to just coat this in E31. I don't want to cover up any of the colors that I've already done, so you're going to see me just kind of carefully go around it. I'm going to get everything except for where the eyes are. I'm going to leave those white. So I'm just going to add color in and around with E31. I stamped this in Raven Hybrid ink, by the way. It had plenty of time to set up, just only takes a few minutes. There we go. Just dotting that in here. So like I said, I'm going to leave where the eyes are. And where the teeth are. I don't want to get that either. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Everybody's so quiet. Are there any questions from anybody?
We're talking about catching lizards.
Oh, okay. So nobody's paying attention to me. He's talking about catching lizards.
Well,
all right.
sort of.
Alan likes to catch lizards, and he taught my son how to catch lizards in Florida, actually. And I don't know how he does it so well. Alan does. So fast. So quick. So fast. So now E23. I'm just going to kind of bring this in here and just create some kind of lower areas like lows and highs. So where you think it might kind of, the areas that might be a little more sunken in. We're going to get those. So like the nose is going to be more forward. Those little eyebrows are going to be more forward. So I'm going to leave those lighter. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of bring this in here and leave a little bit of highlight in that center. I'll blend that out a bit. Bring that in around the eye where it's going to be a little more sunken in. There we go. And then here around the base. Let's get these little arms. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to E31. And in some of these areas, I'm just going to kind of blend them into the center. On like the bridge of the nose there. I didn't want to go really dark because I wanted to have like a light and dark area. So now I'm going to come in there and give a little bit of color to those areas on the outside, just a bit, just to highlight them. There we go, color blend these a bit. And that, my friends, I think is all I'm going to do. Let me blend this up a bit. Okay? So that is all I would do. So next up would be to die cut all of these. And wouldn't you know, hold on a minute, let me see. What pieces do I have here already? This is the one that I have. This is my card. Oh no. I think I lost something, Alan. Did I drop it on the floor?
What you looking for?
Oh, it's in here still. Here's my little drink. It didn't make its way out of the bag. It was hanging on for dear life. Okay. So, this is what we have, and here we go. Through the magic of television, kinda. I already have my little drink here. I already have him. Here's my totem pole, and here is my koala. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? They're so cute. Basically, you're just going to take your dies, line them up, die cut them, and you're good to go. So I'm going to set these aside. We'll save those for another project. And this is what I've got going on here. So we are going to wrap this up pretty quickly, and it's going to be so cute. I love these guys. I think they're so adorable. Okay, so he fits beautifully right here. So my thinking is that I was going to do something like this. This is where I was going with it. And then put this little drink. How come I don't see any messages? It's not scrolling anymore. But it says new messages, but they're not there.
Oh, I hate it when it does that.
It's weird. I can't see what's going on.
Maybe so.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay this little totem pole like right in the center, and he's going to be flat on here. So no foam for him. I've already got foam on these little characters. So my little turtle got foam. There we go. And we're going to have him stand over here. So cute. So I have that in green, so it almost looks like they're kind of standing in the grass, which I think is adorable. And then he's going to be here.
Catherine's asking you if you'll be on HSN next month.
Oh, Catherine's asking if we're going to be on HSN next month, and we are. Yay! We absolutely are.
14 pallets, to be exact.
Alan said we have 14 pallets. I think you are going to love what is coming to HSN from LDRS next month. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about it. So let's put this drink in his hand because that's where it should be, right? So I just put a little bit of liquid adhesive there. So it looks like he is holding up a drink. And he's got one over here. Maybe it's a Shirley Temple. Is it a Shirley Temple, you think? And then remember when I mentioned these sentiments? Remember these sentiments I told you I already had foiled? I foiled these the last time I used the kit. And so I just have them left over here. They're so doggone cute. So I foiled them and I cut them. Let me show you how this lines up. So here is the Sentiment Stack 2 die. And in case you haven't seen this, this lays just perfectly over it. Look how great that is. So you would just use your paper trimmer, trim that in half, or not. I mean, if you got a long enough plate, just lay this on here, tape it into place, run it through your die cutting machine after you foil it. Actually, if you want to leave it black, you can. You don't have to foil it. You can leave it in black if you want. And then once you run it through your die cutting machine, you're going to get all of these pieces all perfectly die cut and all ready for you to use. So I actually take them and I'll just store them like in the back of my stamp set or in the back of my die set or in just a little baggie of sentiments, which is what I did this time. So I have this little baggie here where I had my sentiments. And now I'm looking for a sentiment, and so I can just grab whatever one works. So let's see which one we're going to use.
People are asking about Christmas in July. Is that HSN doing Christmas in July?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say what they're doing.
Oh,
I seriously don't know.
I think people
So
are assuming.
I don't want to mess anything up. And look how cute that is. Tequila, lime, and sunshine, which is perfect because, well, that's kind of what they got going on there, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, regarding HSN, yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but
Then don't say.
yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say. So Alan's saying, then don't say. I don't want to mess up their advertising. They might not like it if I tell you what is going
Can you
on.
explain why there are no alignment marks on the sentiments?
Oh, there's no alignment marks. Are people asking?
No, after our long discussion about it.
Well, yeah,
No,
there's no
explain.
alignment marks on these sentiments because if you don't have the dies, I still want you to be able to just trim them out and have them whatever length you want. And, really, it just takes a moment to kind of, lay the die over it and figure out where it needs to be. So I don't think it's going to hinder anything not having those on there. It does make it easier when you have the stamps to do that, but I think you guys can figure it out. So there we go. Got foam on that. But I really wanted people, if they didn't have the dies, to not worry about not having the dies. All right, so I'm going to lay this on here. I'm going to center it just a little bit in between. I still want you to be able to see those lines there, so I'm trying not to cover those up. Is that in the middle? Looks like it might be. All right, we're going to go with that. There we go. Look how cute. What?
Voila.
Voila. Isn't it cute? It's actually quite easy and really, just really simple and sweet and bright. And then I still have this that I can use on another card. I could actually use it and do the same setup. Like I could do a card using these characters that I've already colored, and I could just do it put this over white and then have them on a white background. It would work beautifully. And it's kind of like a two for one. So how cute, how fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that technique because I think it's really, really neat. And it just makes your dies go, that much farther. So lots of fun with that. I hope you guys like it. Alan, you want to come back to camera 1?
Sure. Are you all fluffed up?
Am I all fluffed up?
Your
Oh.
beautification process.
Is that what you want? All right. You're so funny. There you go. I think it's so cute. I hope you guys like it. Lots of fun. It's clean, it's simple, it's so colorful. Color blending is just, it's so relaxing. It's just fun. I love it. So, all right, everybody, we have reached the end of our hour, but I do have, I gotta think of how I can do this. All right, I'm gonna encourage you very strongly here. A couple of things. One, press like on the video or subscribe or something like that so you get our notifications, but that's not what I was gonna say. I'm going to encourage you very, very strongly. If you don't already get our newsletter, please get our newsletter. Go to our website right now, ldrscreative.com. And if the little window doesn't pop up on your screen, go all the way to the bottom of the home page, and where it says Be in the Know, type in your email address. And then you're going to get notifications whenever we send out emails about things like tonight and other things. And the reason I'm telling you this is because Monday morning is going to be a pretty exciting day around here. And we've got a big announcement, and it has to do with our exclusive kits. And I'm not going to tell you any more than that. But it's really, really cool. It's something we've been working on for a while. And it's a big announcement, and I hope you guys are going to like it. So make sure you sign up for that so that you get the announcement on Monday morning. Alrighty, time for a giveaway.
That's all you're going to say?
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. It has to do with the exclusive kits. It has to do with the very next exclusive kit.
Okay.
So, okay? All right. So let's do a giveaway. And
can you read that?
I'm thinking of what the giveaway is going to be. So give me a quick second. I think, you know what? Why don't we do the hexagon cover plate as our giveaway? and it's going to be Sandy Lawson. Sandy Lawson, you win. Congratulations, the new Hexagon A2 cover plate die. Sandy, thank you for being here tonight. Do me a favor, please, and send your name and your mailing address to customer service at ldrscreative.com, and we will get your new Hexagon cover plate A2 die out to you right away. Yay! Congratulations. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. It has been an absolute joy. Don't forget, we will not be here next Thursday because I will not have a producer that evening. So we will be back here again in 2 weeks. We do plan on having a fun video for you guys that we're going to be posting on Thursday in place of a live. We're going to be posting a fun video, and it has to do with the announcement on Monday as well. So, all right, everybody, we will see you shortly. Yeah, go ahead, get yourself signed up. Mark your calendar for Monday morning because you're going to want to check your email. Yay. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, a fantastic weekend, and we'll be back live again in 2 weeks.